You know, one thing about podcasting that I like is we always network and meet great people like yourself, Georgia.
Yeah, well, when you invite such great guests onto your podcast, I mean, you're bound to meet a couple good
I
ones.
love that. I love that. So, what's new? What's exciting? Shout outs to your makeup artist, AP,
Yes,
and
AP
whatnot.
wants to say hi. She wanted
Oh,
to make sure that I said hi to you today. So
okay. But she ain't in here in the building. So, what's going on?
I know she probably would have came with me.
Yeah,
I should have brought her with me.
that would have been amazing. We're on the red couch
I
and
know.
things like that. I like to say playing a away game. What do you like to say? I feel like the Chicago Bulls type of theme, black and red. You
Yeah,
know,
it's nice down here. It's
you're
cozy.
Jordan, I'm Pippen, or I'm Jordan, you're Pippen.
I'm Jordan.
Okay. Wow. So let's talk about it. Confidence. What does confidence look like for you?
Confidence looks like for me would be knowing exactly what you're talking about.
Okay.
I'm not confident with anything unless I for sure know exactly what I'm talking about. Because how are you supposed to really explain anything to anyone if you haven't done it yourself?
I love that. So how does confidence go into your workflow? Everything you do with real estate, building a team, networking, community.
I mean, confidence is key. It's
Yeah.
literally the glue that's going to make you successful.
For sure.
If you hired me to represent you,
Yep.
what would you think would be the number one thing you would look for in a real estate agent?
Me? And now you're the host.
Yeah,
What would I look for? Are you engaging? Do you have an ego? Or are you confident?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you don't know what you're talking about, how are you supposed to negotiate for your clients? How are you supposed to best represent them if you're unsure? And making these decisions for them, you need to know that your judgment on whatever way they're going to go with their money, buying and selling, is the best fit for them. Because if you're not sure, then they're not going to be sure. And you could end up getting yourself in a pile of a mess because you didn't do the research, you didn't have the backbone, and you didn't represent them to the best of their interest.
I love that you say that. So let's keep it, I like to keep it real on this show.
Okay.
Where do you see ego come into play in real estate?
Oh, ego. People come into this business with ego, but then they can get run out very quickly, or it gets built up over time. And you can easily lose yourself with it because it comes down to pushing your own marketing on yourself. Like, it is an ego business. It's just, you have to say to clients, I am the best. I'm going to be the best one to represent you. There's nobody else like me. So to walk that fine line between that and not let yourself get sucked into it is a big thing. I think that takes away a lot of real estate agents, and it goes right to their head. And a lot of people, they, even with social media, I mean, that runs really high with social media. The same thing with ego is that you get lost in it sometimes and you need to do a reality check and make sure you're loving what you're doing and you're never better than anyone else. And maybe as a real estate agent, maybe in some of those levels, but personally, you're not better than anyone else when it comes down to anything.
I love that you say that because I feel like ego is dominating through the lens of social media and the vanity metrics and things like that that people are trying to search for. The
Absolutely.
click base, the blue check marks, things like that. I've seen a lot of your videos and you come very wholesome in a lot of your videos.
Thank you.
You're to the point, you drive the conversation. You want people to relate to you. It's not about, oh, here's my fancy jet. Here's my Mercedes-Benz 2024. And yeah, this is what I got, diamond Rolexes and living in these, what do you call it? High airplanes and private jets and things like that, you know?
Yeah, thank you for saying that because when you're on camera, it's so much, and you're really creating a name for yourself. You can get lost in that, but when it comes to representing somebody else, you take yourself out of it. Like, even if I looked so bad in a video shoot for a house, I still will push it out the same degree as any other video that I look better in. It doesn't matter because I'm not doing this for me; it's for my clients.
I love that you say that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
so you have to just never mind. I'll touch on that later. But yeah.
So when it comes to you and people working with you, they want that house. What's the first thing they should be coming to you with? Hey, listen, I got like 100K in the bank. I want a house. I want property.
Okay. So they approach me and they want to buy a house and they got a good down payment.
Yeah, I got 100K right
Yeah,
now.
exactly. So the first thing always is The financing, you have to get pre-approved. I mean, everybody knows that. And I run my lane. I don't walk into the financing lane because that changes so frequently. You need to have an expert on that end to give you real time exactly what you can afford. And in today's market, you need to get to the point, you're financing so well with the individual you're working with that you can go in firm on a deal. A lot of the time, we will always try to push for conditional on financing. But in some cases, if you can get past that and they can guarantee you a firm deal, which they can never guarantee you, but the odds are in your favor that you can definitely get that financing, you want to have that in your back pocket. Because if your dream property comes along, we're seeing multiple offers again right now, and you want to be able to take the best shot at getting that property, which means going in firm.
But I'm coming with cash. Like, what about like, I know I'm being like smart ass a little bit, but like, I'm coming with 100K cash. I want that house right over there with that fancy lot, the 2 parking lot garage, things like that. I want to pay 100K right now.
Okay, so let's step it back then. Okay, so are you married? Did you have kids? What's your situation?
Hey, you're asking me this
yes,
question
this is
right
what I've
now
asked
on
my
the
client.
podcast?
You're my client.
Okay. All right. Married to the game, married to the podcast.
Okay, so you're a single guy.
Yes.
You want the house with the nice laneway, all done, everything done.
Put a studio in it.
Okay, this is your first place.
Yes.
All right, so you're gonna probably have to go towards your max budget to get that property, right?
Okay.
All right. So if I'm working with you, I'd say, listen, you don't have any kids right now. I know the job that you're working. You have time after work. I'd ask about your family. Do you have any plumbers, electricians, friends that are contractors in your group?
Friends.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So
know a
why
couple.
exactly? So why wouldn't we go for the one down the street that needs a little bit of work? Why don't we put some sweat equity into that?
Ooh,
so
okay.
I'm not a realtor that will tell that because I've done it. I've flipped houses. And why would I want you to push to your max budget? What could happen? Maybe your podcast doesn't blow up. Maybe you lose your job. Now you're sitting there with max amount. You're going to be back on payments. You might actually eventually have to sell and take a loss because the market is so up and down. So let's play it safe. Buy the fixer-upper. Have your friends and family come in. Do some deals. Work your magic. Get your hands dirty. And renovate it to your liking. And then you have equity sitting in that home. And you could probably take that equity out and buy maybe another property in the future by doing it that way.
So what's the timeline people should be when they're buying a house? They should be looking at the whole equity movement and things like that. Is that something that's like right away? Because for me, I'm new to this game as far as real estate and stuff like that. So how does the equity work?
So the equity kind of, for me, you build equity within your home over years. So, but we just had this crazy thing happen over the last 2 years. I mean, some people became millionaires just by buying a house the year before. I mean, it's never happened in Canadian history. Prices in Canada have usually risen around 3% on average. And it's been like that forever, like last 10, 20 years. I don't know exactly, but that's where you put your money in a nice investment, which is your own property. And then you'd make a profit in 10, 15 years of, maybe 100K or wherever it lands. But nowadays it fluctuates so much that my advice for someone to get into the game for doing that would be really different. I'd have to really find that property that can fight against the odds of the market going up and down and would be a safe investment. Now, for your timeline, which you asked, is depending on how you're looking. Are you going to be a flipper? Or are you looking for your primary residence? Because there's a difference there, because you're not going to pull equity out probably against your primary if you're going near your max and you're renovating. You're just making a smart purchase.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. When we think about just everything and learning about you, because I don't feel like you just became this head honcho when it comes to real estate, doing what it is you're doing. It started from somewhere. So give us a little trip down memory lane.
I would love to. And I love that we bring this up because everyone thinks all right, how did I get started in real estate?
Yeah.
Okay. So back in high school, I wanted to go to university for art, and my dad was a real estate agent. And
like a Picasso.
Yeah, like a Picasso. Yeah. I got the art award and all. I was going for it.
Okay.
And my dad said, you're going into real estate. And he had me start my courses, I think in grade 11 or 12. So when I graduated high school, I was already in like the third or fourth phase. And when I got my real estate license really young, I started out selling farms, which I freaking hated because it was a dog eat dog world. Like it honestly was. And here I am, trudging around farms with boots and freezing my ass off and checking dirt and this clay, is a sandy loam, talking farm talk. But it taught me a lot, but it taught me, grit that took me years to really fall in love with real estate. honestly. And then I started flipping houses and I was like, I don't want to do this job because I looked at my father going, listen, you're this age still doing this. I'm like, I need to find another route. So then I flipped houses. And then I realized I could make way more money quicker by selling houses. So then I had to put a can on that. And then when I really started to fall in love with real estate after I switched to a different brokerage and I had more of a collaborative movement with other agents and I kind of got out of the, you know, I kind of got out of the dog eat dog world and being more collaborative. And that really helped me to have other agents to lean on. And then I loved marketing. So for me, art really came into the marketing side of things and my creativity could have finally flourished through some outlet, and social media and everything like that really helped me fall in love with it again and be creative and do marketing and all those things. So that's kind of where it started. So I've been in real estate over a decade and I didn't really take off till about year 6 or 7 until I really found the groove in it.
So did you read any books along the way to help you?
A million books.
What books? Top 3 books that
my
helped
number
you
one book that I recommend to any real estate agent is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie.
Okay. What else?
It just helps you in any situation.
Okay.
The Go Giver is really, really good. And shoot, I'm having a stump here for a third one. I'd have to go home and I don't know which one I would win on that one. But those 2 right there are Atomic Habits. That's really great as well.
Very popular one I'm hearing from a lot with all
Dale
different
Carnegie
areas and stuff.
It's the best.
Dale Carnegie.
Yeah.
So I have to get that on Audible.
Yeah, it's old. It's really old, but it helps me resolve any situation I have at any point. And if you're in real estate, there is situations 3 to 4 times a day. So you need to keep your cool. You need to always know how to handle it professionally and never bring emotion into any situation.
Love that you say that. Explain for you what productivity means for you in a day in the life of, because you feel like you go from point A to point B to Z very, very quickly.
Exactly. You can get caught up in the busy work and not be productive very, very easily with real estate. And I think that's the number one issue why real estate agents fail, because they become oscillating, conflicting structures. So they get really, really busy and they're just doing their busy work. And then, they make a lot of money. And then
It's
they
tongue twister.
Yeah. What? Oscillating, conflicting structure?
That's a tongue twister.
Try to say it.
Break that down. I'm not going to even try to attempt to say it on my show. They're going to troll me.
Yeah.
You know how the internet trolls going to be like, let's clip that part. So break that down. I feel that's a whole acronym in itself.
The oscillating, conflicting structure?
You said it again.
Yeah.
We're like, what, 3-4 times now?
Yeah. I asked you to describe it. Anyways, so productivity. Yeah. So you can get caught up in the busy work. So what you need to be doing is making sure you're setting hours apart, that you are actually building a business, because everyone thinks by running around showing houses and doing open houses and things like that. Actually, the open houses would be productive, but that's business you've already got in your pocket. These are clients you're already managing. You need to be building up your client base for the next 3 to 6 months, because as soon as those 3-4 clients buy houses and you weren't working on getting new ones, you're sitting there with nothing to do. So for me, my mornings are usually carved out for being productive, calling clients, getting back to my past fear, working referrals, making sure that I'm adding people to my list. I'm building up my listings coming into the next 3 to 6 months. And then my afternoons are spent doing my actual job, which is, I'm mainly a listing agent. So it's really just managing my listings and getting everybody what they need. But of course, with real estate, you're going to have about 500 calls come up in between your productivity hours. But if that happens, you sometimes just need to take the ones that are important and just focus back in.
I like that you say that. So are you ever going to take this international?
Well, the company I'm with is international.
Talk about it.
So the reason I joined this brokerage is because I'm able to train and mentor agents across the world. I actually have an agent in my downline in California, several across the States, and I have a team of about 40 agents in my EXP downline. And then I have a team locally here in London. And it really fulfills me. I absolutely love working with every single agent that I've connected to this company and helping them succeed. And real estate's changing every single day. So
you're like bi-coastal, not to cut you off there.
Yeah.
Bi-coastal, like you have international passport here. 1 minute you're in Dubai, next minute you're in Florida, next minute you're in Canada.
Oh, well, that would be the goal. Yeah.
So you're bi-coastal.
Yeah, not yet.
Not yet. Coming soon.
Yes, coming soon.
Okay. I'm just checking, making sure.
No, it's cool. It's a really cool opportunity. With real estate, never really had that for the last 100 years, the way it's been built. So it's a new brokerage. It's really been fabulous for my life. And it's a cool way to look at it.
So out of all your group that you work with, who would you say has the greatest laugh?
Oh, Laura Goss. Could you just have her on here? Just.
I don't know if this would be an episode would ever get released though.
I would watch it.
I think she'd be laughing.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I can't even stop laughing thinking about it. So, yeah.
Shout outs to her.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said that she's killing it.
She's killing it.
Yeah.
She's just started and she's just been, I think she's just breath of fresh air I've been needing in my business for a while now.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
So she brings that high energy.
She does. And she's managed teams before. She runs her own business. She's super successful. So it's, she brings a lot of great skills to this team that I've been needing and wanting for a while.
Mm-hmm. So branding, how do you set yourself apart?
That's great. I feel like branding for me, that's like one of my strong suits for sure.
Okay.
For me, Tusch sets myself apart. It's my last name. Yeah, Tusch.
Like your backside, like you're behind.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what it is. I mean, there's no other way to say it. Like you could try to say like douche. It's just Tusch. Is
that what, French?
It's German, I think.
Kind of was gonna say that. Yeah.
And my uncle's name was Harry, so his name was legit Harry Tusch.
Harry Tusch.
Yeah. No, Tusch.
Yeah. Can you speak German?
A little bit, not much.
So like, say how's it going in German?
I don't even know that. I just know
what?
You
said you speak German.
I just know sayings. My parents are German. My dad was, so it's like I'm sitting in my social gebildet zu küssen and just stupid stuff.
Jesus, what does that mean?
Sit in my lap and give me kisses.
Okay, hello.
Your grandparents.
I just remember like, what is going on the show? Interesting. I like that. I'm learning new things.
Yeah, I'll teach you later.
Oh, teach me later?
Yeah.
I like that. Oh, for sure. So you speak about branding, right? Now, branding, I feel like, is a laundry list of things, right? Branding can be to what you're wearing, right? How you show up, the car you drive, things like that. But how do you set yourself up for branding?
So for real estate wise, I mean, there was a shift in the market, or there was a shift in real estate a couple years ago where people used to go to Remax, Century 21, the big name brands to find their real estate agents because that's what the commercials were and that's who they trusted. But there was a quick shift where I realized they were coming for my name. They wanted to work with Georgia, and Remax was now just where I worked. And that's again why I switched. So when I started using my name for branding, it really amplified my entire business. And I think you just need to look at what you're trying to do and sell and run with what works. And for me, my last name was kind of ridiculous. So I thought, let's just roll with this. So, I have all matching. I have all custom designed everything that my pens, my hats, koozies, sunglasses, wine holder, everything I have is branded for Tusch Real Estate Group because that's now what I'm working to grow out. I'm not working to grow out Georgia anymore. I want to bring it into more people's lives and have other people involved with the company. So Tusch Real Estate's what I've been doing with that. You got to pick your colors. It's a lot to choose that identity that you want to choose for your branding, but don't skip it. Don't half-ass it, I would say, and make sure whatever you do, you find someone that can help you design the look that you're looking for, and then run with it. And don't be scared to put it on everything. Don't think you're corny for handing somebody something with your name on it or your brand. I mean, it is what you're doing. You're networking not only at a party now. I'm networking anywhere I go with that. So it's so easy to build a business with being creative with marketing and branding.
Okay. So what's your colors?
My colors are baby blue and white, but we're actually shifting more to a baby blue and white. It just looks better with folders and business cards. It's
appealing to the eye.
Yeah, you got to evolve with the branding.
Yeah. Okay. And is there any swag that's going on? Any merchandise?
Of
Maybe
course.
like a hoodie, a shirt?
I got everything.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So where's my hoodie and my shirt?
Well, I brought you a koozie and sunglasses. So I got hats. I didn't know if they would be the ones you'd want there. I went through even with my own branding, I go through phases. I did like a neon summer phase. Now I'm going more into luxury phase. So that's when you'd probably want that. That's swag. I'll bring you some.
Yeah, I need that hoodie.
And my slogan for my swag is can't touch this. So
MC Hammer?
Yeah.
Are you going to get up and dance like MC Hammer now? I feel like can't touch this. You be sliding across the couch.
No, I'm
Parlez-vous français?
Na, 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 na. I
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
put the na 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 on it with
did?
some t-shirts, sweaters. I can't Tusch.
What? Look
It's
at
good
you.
branding.
I like that.
Sticks in your head.
Okay. So when you show up to meetings, you show up to conferences, you show up to all this stuff, what is your main brand that you wear?
I wear a Tusch hat, like when
Yeah.
when we're going in there, and I have my Tusch purse. But other than that, conferences are usually out of the area here.
Nothing, no shoes that you wear, no lucky
What?
shoes, nothing that
Don't
you.
give me ideas here. I don't.
That's what we do. We have the conversation.
Tusch
No,
hair.
like no Jimmy Choo shoes.
No. Oh,
Nothing?
my outfits for when I.
Yeah,
Oh, of
your
course
outfits.
I dress up. Yes.
What's the most expensive outfit you got in that closet of yours?
That's gonna be really depressing.
Why?
Because I don't have time to shop. I actually need a personal shop. Like, look what I'm wearing today.
It's fine. You showed up. You have joggers on. That's the most important thing. You came comfortable. I like that. It's comfortable,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, no, I need to level up like that. I've been watching a lot of Selling Sunset, and
What's that?
you know what Selling Sunset is?
Talk to me. I don't know.
What do you mean? It's Netflix. It's been like
I
4
don't
seasons.
got a Netflix account.
It's the girls selling houses in LA, and it's.
Are they like
You-
influencers?
I mean, I wouldn't think they positive influencing. I mean, that's probably gonna get some hate for that, but
Is
they.
it like drama setting?
Oh, it's just drama. Yeah, but they have the best outfits on. Some are like way too revealing, but they look good. And
So
after,
they're in real estate?
yeah, they work for the Oppenheim Group, and they
Really?
come on.
Who
you
are these
haven't-
people? Give me some names on the show.
They're Chriselle. I mean, I don't know their last names, but yeah, they sell the biggest houses in like LA and like Hollywood or something. And
And you're going to be on the show sometime soon.
I don't know if they take me. I
Why?
mean, I just watch it and you'd
You got the
understand.
personality.
I think I have the personality.
Yeah.
I don't.
Just show up and smile. There you go. $1 million smile.
Yeah, that's my next goal is to get on the. Or I'd rather start my own Oppenheim group here. Just the Tusch group here. Actually, it is called the Tusch Real Estate Group. So maybe I am
Are
on
you
to
going to pitch this to
something.
Netflix?
I mean, I shouldn't I?
Amazon?
I was on a show once.
What show are you on?
HGTV.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
And how come I didn't hear about this?
It was horrible.
Why was it horrible?
Because you don't realize how fake it is. Like, it is so much more fake than you would ever think. Like, the people that are actually buying, they were actors. It was just mind blowing.
Performative.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I didn't like it.
So you're not performative ever?
No, I'm real.
Yeah?
Always.
Even though the camera's on, we're not performative? Just a teeny bit? Like 5%, 10%?
0%.
Okay. What's one of the biggest icks in real estate that you see today?
Ooh, biggest X. I mean, this is gonna sound really bad, but you know, you can look like the most successful real estate agent just by your social media.
Uh-huh.
Like and you could only have sold 2 houses. I mean, there's so many real estate agents that just push out as much social media as they can, and it looks like they're selling houses every single day and they're working with everyone, but really they're not. They're just posting. And I think that's an ick because, you know, I would hate to be that client, that someone that works with that agent that thinks they have this much experience. And at the end of the day, they really don't. But I think if they're honest and they're really just going forward with it and being honest from day one, that's fine. I mean, nothing's wrong with working a new agent. They'll probably work harder than any other agents, you know, that are working with multiple other clients. But, you know, when you interview an agent, you'll know what you want. But that's
True.
a big ick.
Do you think that comes across from like all the other guys that are in real estate? I'll say a name like the Grant Cardones of the world, who's like, how do I say this? More of an influencer, but you see him show his work. And you think a lot of maybe men and women are trying to run that same sort of program?
Of course.
Rinse and repeat it?
Absolutely. I mean, I can't even watch other real estate. I can even watch myself sometimes. Okay, for me, real estate icks, if we're still on this, the social media, if you follow a couple real estate agents, you're probably just drowned with buyer pointing at buyers, buyer tips, seller tips, this and that. Like, I can't even do them anymore because
Everybody's doing it.
everyone's doing it, and I can't even put myself there. And I'm like, well, then it's like this ultimatum where you have to do it. You have to be posting stuff. So it's just you're icking at your own content that you're putting out.
Yeah,
So
it's the same thing in podcasting, right?
yeah, it's in everything, maybe.
Yeah, it's the same thing in
it's
podcasting.
just-
A lot of people, I'll say it, a lot of people want to get close to you because they try to want a shortcut to get to where you're at in short of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So they reach out to you and they may want to collaborate with you, and you know why they're collaborating with you because they're trying to get into a certain space.
Right.
And it's like, that's not how collaborations works. For me, it's about showing that digital currency, right? It's like, what value are you presenting? You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people don't want to present, a lot of value. They just want to take and then shortcut and things like that.
Well, it's this is a lot of there's a lot of takers in this world, and as I'm getting older, eye-opening, and it's sometimes
Older, you like 22, no?
Yeah, I'm 22.
22.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, AP did your makeup, so she like,
Yeah, she must have did a good job today.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you're like 22.
Yeah, 22.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reverse engineering.
How old are you?
Me? Mm-hmm. Cut. How old am I? I'm in my 30s.
30.
I don't give out too much information on this podcast. I can't.
Oh,
I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the bots and the bots. There's a lot of weird stuff going on in my algorithms lately.
Yeah.
So
I don't want to mess it up, right?
no, you wouldn't mess it up.
Where do you see yourself in 3 years?
Me having a high, successful top 1% podcast.
Damn. I think you will.
I know I will.
You got the goods.
To a degree. It's a lot of work.
I don't
got a Tusch team like you.
Well, maybe you need one.
I'm just me. Unapologetically myself.
That's good. I love that.
Mm-hmm. And there's an Ask Rory episode coming out. Several episodes coming out. So can't give too much to the cat out of the bag, but by the time this releases, it will be already in production and in editing.
So how does your production and editing work? So
Do you want the workflow?
Yeah.
I got to charge you for that.
All right. We'll talk after the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
My production workflow is just about being 1% better. And I think what happens in production and workflow, a lot of people make excuses. They don't make adjustments. Mm-hmm. Quote from Eric Thomas. You know who Eric Thomas is?
I don't know.
Have that conversation off air.
Okay.
Yeah. I know people are in their Googles and they're probably like, who's Eric Thomas? Mentor, coach, speaker. It's who I got certified for my life coaching and things like that. So
he was your coach?
Well, I met him on a remote podcast, or not remote podcast, a remote live stream, and when he was coaching us. This was back in pandemic.
How do you feel? Yeah, how do you feel about coaching?
Coaching can be an oversaturated market, and I feel like a lot of coaches in 2023 don't have an actual lead magnet. What that means is they tend to just want to offer a cookie cutter copy and paste system with no tangible evidence of how to really build what success looks like.
A chat GPT version.
Of what?
Just coaching going forward now with a template.
It's funny because AI is a good thing, but it's also a bad thing. Mm-hmm. If you're using AI just to copy and paste and build templates, you are a sucker and you need to stop doing that. Have your own original thoughts. Yeah. Right? 2, like you have good, successful coaches like Amy Porterfield, who's talking about, and I basically saw a lot of her work in the pandemic, where she talks about getting you out of your 9 to 5 and doing it the right way, right? And I've had a few episodes. The winner of Big Brother, Tyshawn Carter, talked about when he won Big Brother and like the steps he used to save money and things like that. I have another one of my friends, Jedson Trevenier, who works for Entertainment Tonight. You see those guys build the success, right? That has led them out of maybe possibly working a 9 to 5 and now doing what it is they want to do. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And things like that. So I think with coaching, there's a negative connotation to it now, right? And I think coaching is now replaced actual going to school. You don't need to go to university. You don't need to go to college anymore, right? You can basically learn finance on YouTube and then basically cookie cutter all of that, put it into a coaching portfolio and say, hey, listen, I'm a financial advisor, ladies and gentlemen. With no background.
It's nuts, actually.
Yeah.
There's real estate coaches that I've been in the industry for only, last 3 years, and they think they know about selling real estate. They never sold real estate when it's hard to sell real estate. It's like we had the lowest inventory for 3 months, January to March, like the lowest sales ever happened in like London's history. How do you coach an agent to sell houses in that when you've never been through a downturn? So it's the same with everything too. Same with anything.
And that's the thing, right? When I learned from coaching from Eric Thomas, I got up to the trenches. It was early morning conversation. It was 7 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. It was 4 a.m. his time because he's in California. He had his prayer with his team at 2:30 in the morning. So it shows you how he's operating. And this is a man that's consistently built success. Mm-hmm. And you see what he does each and every day, right? It's not cookie cutter. It's not, Chat GPT. Yes, we all learn from certain books and things like that. But it's like you can't model what you may see through getting on Google or from somebody else's coaching program. It's like in health and fitness. Mm-hmm. You do one fitness show, right? And then all of a sudden you're a posing coach. I know the people that are watching this in the fitness department are like, yo, I'm talking real. But it's this thing I see consistently. And I've been in the health and fitness world. That's where I transitioned out of, right? To trade it in for a mic. So it's a sad reality. But the thing is, like with me now, it's like, understanding what's going to get you to the dance and how you're going to stay there. Mm-hmm. Right? 1% better. That's my motto.
I love that. Yeah. And that's just 1% better. Just like is so key to everything. It's just one thing I find that a lot of people aren't doing and they get complacent is they're not educating themselves every single day. And I think people rolling out through social media and things like that, like I learn a lot. Don't get me wrong. I love TikTok and I love all these platforms. I can learn something in a matter of like 2 minutes versus me watching in like a YouTube video, which took me half an hour to get to. No, sorry. It took me 2 minutes to Google and the ads or whatever. But what I'm saying is even with real estate agents, what I'm finding is that, they're not learning anything new each week, or maybe just this week and that week. You have to be every single day trying to get that 1% better. And it goes into a lot of things, but I think that educating and learning and just amplifying is so important.
A podcast that I really go to a lot of reference points with is Earn Your Leisure podcast, right? And I see what those two guys have done. And now they've made their platform be this teaching. Basically, every episode's like a seminar you're listening to.
Oh, wow.
And it's all about like content creation, how to, present and become better in financial literacy, things like that, right? And they got one of the biggest cosigns from Steve Harvey. And now you see them on major publication TV. You see them doing their world tour, which I couldn't have went to in Toronto because tickets sold out like this. It's crazy, right?
Wow.
But you see from a minority, there's two black guys that are just setting a trailblaze. They're going to come on the show eventually. So they'll probably hear us at some point in time. And that's just how it is, right? Because I like what they're bringing out, right? Mm-hmm. We all have mentors and we all have people that we look up to, right? There's probably somebody in that world of real estate you're wanting to sit down with, no?
Of course. Yeah. I mean,
name?
That I actually...
It's got to be somebody in the world you want to meet.
I have a coach. I love my real estate coach. I listen to a lot of people, but when I've been in it this long, there's only...
Can you say your coach's name? Or
it's Jason Samard over in, he actually changed my life when I met him. Okay. And he totally, I didn't really actually believe in coaching. I was like that naive, egotistical kind of person. Mm-hmm. Coming off like, I make this many sales. I know this much. But yeah, I had like a tragic event in my life. My mom passed and I like lost everything. I had 2 years took off and I went away on a summit actually and met this guy and he helped me negotiate a deal different than I've ever negotiated a deal. And I was just like, I like the way you think. And then I found out he had a team and all this. And then I hired him as a coach and he pushed me in the right direction that I needed because other than that, I was really only getting mentored from my father, who he'll tell you right now, taught me everything not to do. So he'll tell you right there. I was the worst agent. I told Georgia everything not to do. And my business completely amplified because I knew the right systems and processes to finally put in place to give me more time to do what I needed to be doing, which is production.
I think that we all come from the same school. I feel like we have to go through something in our life to push us in that direction.
You need struggle. You need hardship. Otherwise, you know, you don't appreciate the successes that you have. You don't work hard. You don't have that grit. I had a real estate agent yesterday talk to me last night. She's going, Georgia, I need to pay these bills. Like, I'm starving. I'm like, good. This is going to make you get more deals this spring than any other year. And it's going to give you that momentum that you needed, because I've been there, and that hunger is what you need.
We've all been there. And I think that at the end of the day, you know, for me, it's always the constant battle of where people come in your life. Could be friends, could be family, not too much family, because my family is tight knit community. Relationships you deal with, and people don't co-sign what it is you're doing until after they see the success. So to the people that are listening to this, watching this, like, you really have to keep in mind whatever you go through, just eat it, hold on to it, and then push forward, right? And I think a lot of people don't want to push forward. A lot of people want to sit in their mess. Yes, sit in your mess, but don't let it be a destruction. Don't let it be an instrument to your destruction.
You can't sit there long or it'll eat you up.
Yeah.
What's that? That remind me of that saying, there people come into your life for a season, a reason, or a lifetime.
Or you change your friendship groups every 5 years.
So you have to level up. I mean, so many people pay too much attention to people in their sphere that really are not leveling them up, and then it's not good. I mean, I've gone through a lot of friend groups. I love all my friends dearly. I had friends, but I just recently got another group of new friends that I meet when I go on conventions and summits and things like that. I've never felt that kind of elevation. I want to be where they're at now. You know, they opened up a new door.
Yeah, you got to be around you got to be around the right people. Like, I see the guys in my circle all leveling up. And then there's some that are in the circle, but they don't level up and they're still complaining. And they're still kicking and screaming, oh, I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't do this. But Rory, you motivate me. Rory, you're this. Rory, you're that. You should be taking heed to your own things that you're saying. You know what I mean? But a lot of people don't want to do that because they're in this slave mentality, right?
Yeah.
And you got to get out of it. You got to, like, whatever you're going through, right? Like, I can't tell you how many times people in my past now I've ran into, because I'm triggering in their algorithms. I'm sizzling in their algorithms. And I say this with all confidence. And it's like, oh, I see what you're doing. I see the podcast. I see this. I'm like, thank you. Appreciate it. But at the same time, it doesn't change who I am.
Yeah.
Right. You guys put me in this crazy ass light already. And I'm like, what are you guys going to do when you guys really see me in that light? You know what I mean? Are you guys going to, like, now double down and go all in and say, oh, well, we knew he was going to be there? Of course I was going to be here. I said this. I manifested it. 2016, October 31st.
That's when you started? That's when
I started. Halloween. Yeah. Trick or treat.
I now know your yearly calendar for when you're leveling up. I'm gonna check in on you.
Anyways.
No, you're so right though, Rory. Like, it's who you hang out with. I know this, like, everyone hears it everywhere you go, but, like, there's so much truth in the simplest sayings. I'm realizing there's, like, so much, and you got to be careful who you spend your energy with on, and how much you push into someone. And if you're not getting it back, like we were talking about takers and things like that, you need to take that energy back and put it into something that's totally worthwhile, and it's going to motivate you to move, because it will suck you dry and it will stall you to where you're going. I've experienced that lately, and it's been eye-opening, and it's hard. Life's just hard, and it's like decision.
Life's not hard. Do we just make the decisions you gotta make?
It's just, yeah, but it is. And then, you know, but it isn't, you're right. It is and it isn't. It's just, it's all over the place. It's messy. It's fun. It's just,
you got to evolve. Some people don't evolve, right? Some people don't evolve with the times. They evolve when you've lapped them around the race. It's like the story of the tortoise and the hare, right?
Yeah.
What did the hare do? He's like, oh, I'm faster than the turtle, so I just can sit here at the finish line. And little did he know, he slept too long, and then the tortoise came back and said, see you later.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, not everybody's there to progress with you. They watch what you do. That's what the power of social media is, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's watching what you're doing.
Isn't it crazy how many people, this is kind of probably, yeah, like, I can't believe, even I'll check my stories, numbers, and things like that. But I swear more people see what you're doing than what you're actually seeing. It's honestly so crazy. Like where I go, and like I'm not even that big, but but it's amazing how much you can change people's lives. Like I'll do an Instagram story about some tip I have about painting or where I got this, and like 2-3 years later, I'll have someone come up like, "Hey, can you give me that name of that person that you talked about?" Like I'm like, whoa. And you gotta be so careful with it too.
People are looking what you're doing. I see it a lot. I'll be honest. I wouldn't say one of my algorithms is funny because it's split in like 3 to 4 different categories. And I see a lot of people that they're just watching what I'm doing, but they can never talk about what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Right. And it's cool because they threw dirt on your name behind the scenes. So now when they see what you're doing, they have to just watch, and they can't say nothing. And then these are the type of people that want to start a podcast, and the first thing is like, oh, subscribe to my show. And it's like, but what's your lead magnet? What's your offer? I know you're not ready to create a podcast, let alone even speaking to a mic, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like this is years of work. You can't just wake up and say, yo, I want to be real estate.
No.
You have to learn something. What book are you going to read? That's like, if I'm coming to you and I want to learn real estate, I'm like, yo, what's one of the 3 books that you read? And I'm going to start there. Yeah. And then I'm going to come back. And then I'm going to come back. And I'm like, listen, hey, can you mentor me or can you coach me?
You know what? This is really interesting. I learned this last week. I was talking to like a mega agent in the city. He's kind of like low key. No one really, he's got this really cool business. He's an old boy. And, I said, well, what do you do when you work with teammates? Like, how do people get on your team and things like that? He goes, Georgia, if they don't have $35,000 in their bank account and they're a new agent, I ain't working with them because they're not taking this business seriously. You're not going to make maybe 3 deals in your next 3 months and you're not getting paid for 6. How are you living? How did you come into this seriously without having that backing you up? Because it's going to eat you up and spit you out. And I'm only working with serious people. And I said, wow. Because majority of new agents do not have $35,000 in their back pocket. They're usually working a part-time job and using this as another side gig where, some people get lucky, but no, at the end of the day, the failure rate of real estate is still like 87 or 93%.
Same thing as podcasting. So many people start a podcast and after episode 3, they're game over. They're done. Yeah. Because they realize they ran out of content. Because they didn't start producing the content.
And they didn't make a business plan. They didn't even... Right. And that's the biggest thing, too, in life, too. Business plans. Like, it's the driest sounding thing in the world to most people. But, damn, that is where you're going to see your business grow. Circling back to it. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. What are you doing every single day? Break it down and build out a schedule. And for me...
It's funny you say that. Because, okay, so do you have a business plan or do you have a vision board?
I have a business plan. Okay. I feel like my vision board, I have both. Well, of course I have both.
Okay, so talk about it.
Well, my business plan is, 3 to 5 years and 10 years, and that's where you want to be. But, yearly goals and quarterly goals are super important because then you can control what you can do every day. And
what about weekly goals?
Of course, weekly goals. You got to have your measurable activities every week. And that's where, I fall short on my team, which they know, and that I'm not really good at managing. I'm not good at keeping people.
You need an assistant.
I have an assistant.
Hello.
Good. As I am not good at accountability and managing. I know what I'm good at. I know my lane. Like that's where I'm good. But I'm being elevated to do this. So I'm not saying I can't learn it and I try everything I can. It's just not sometimes my best attribute. But what I know is measurable activities, accountability, weekly goals, daily goals, hitting those targets. It's the only way you're going to scale any business. Same with podcasting, same with this. You need to be doing this every single day. Consistency is the only thing that is going to make you hit your goals. Same with fitness, same with anything, really. Like,
do you work out today?
I did work out today.
Yeah, I know. I got that message that like whatever, it was like 6:30 in the morning or something like that.
I thought my phone wasn't even attached. I had to get a new phone because I threw that in the
Yeah, took a dip, I heard.
Yeah, it took a dip.
Word on the street.
Yeah.
Why are you going on the phone? Why are you going on the water with your phone? What's going on here?
Honestly, I was trying to get the good Instagram shot and a wave came up, crashed the rock so hard, flew my friends.
Flew your rock? It flew you? Where did you fly to?
Flew me into like this little canal, broke my phone. Friends.
Were you on a boat?
No, it's standing on the rocks. Costa Rica's scary. Like the
Yeah, I don't do that whole water.
No, why
gizmos
was
what
it
you guys
even?
do.
Yeah, no, I
Don't do that.
don't go near the water.
I won't go near the water.
Well, just yeah, or the
don't do
rocks.
it.
I was just on the rocks, so
I'm
don't
far away.
don't. Do that.
I'm far away. Like, I'd rather watch the stuff on TV, to be honest. Right?
Yeah, I guess so.
I can't do it. Mm-mm. No,
I know. I
thank you.
invited you over for my pool, and you said no.
Yeah, I didn't get no invite.
Yeah,
It was lost in the mail somewhere.
I said we can have a backyard pool party, and you said I don't do pools.
I don't recall when this happened.
Well, I'll resend it.
You'll resend it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So,
What's up? So you have a burning question to ask me before we close out the show.
no, okay, what's the rest of your week look like?
My rest of my week look like recording podcasts.
How many podcasts do you shoot a week?
That's a great question. Can I answer that question on my show?
Why not?
Could be anywhere between 3 to 4, maybe 5.
Really?
Yep.
That's a lot of energy you put
No, it's
into
not.
it. It's not?
Passion.
It's easy peasy for you?
Passion. Mama mentality.
Because I like, when I do my listing videos, it's a lot to project out there for, I guess you're kind of just sitting here, right?
I'm not used to it. We're going to get you used to it.
Yeah.
Coaching 101.
Are you going to coach me?
Why not?
What are you going to coach me in?
Have a more online presence with voice and your character and your smiling face
I know, I need to do
and the
that.
makeup by AP. She should be sponsoring this episode, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she should be.
We should make that happen.
Talk to her. Why don't you talk to her?
We'll talk to her on a podcast?
Hey, you're never a makeup artist on here.
You never know what might happen.
And
You ever watch The Last Dance?
yeah.
Michael Jordan.
Oh, wait.
The
Yeah.
Last Dance. Not Save the Last
Okay.
Dance. I know all little girls are like, Save the Last Dance.
That's exactly what I was
No,
thinking.
The Last Dance with Michael.
I think I've seen it. I haven't seen
Watch it.
it. Okay.
Watch it and you'll see why I operate the way I operate now.
Could you give me a little bit more insight on that?
No spoilers. Because people are probably laughing as they're listening and watching this right now. But she's never seen The Last Dance.
I've seen it. I just can't. Yeah.
So watch it. It's good. Episode 7 is probably one of the most important episodes.
Okay.
Last 2 minutes.
Oh, the series.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I've seen
Michael
that.
sitting there with his
I thought you
whatever
said
he had in the glass.
You said movie, so I was looking into that.
Movie, so it's all the same stuff. Netflix.
It's not. There's series and then there's movies.
What's your favorite series?
I only like documentaries, really.
You don't watch series?
I loved. No, I'm not really. I don't really have time to watch series. I
You've
don't.
never watched a series
I've
before.
watched series. Of course, I've watched series. Are you serious? It's a joke.
Georgia, where can everybody check you out?
Check me out on Instagram at Tusch Real Estate, Facebook, or tushrealestategroup.com. And give me a shout. Shoot me a DM. I'd love to meet you and connect with you and meet some new people.
When's the book coming out?
June 26th.
Your book.
Yeah.
Your book is coming out June 26th?
I should write a book. Do you think so?
Wait, you have a book actually coming out on June 26th?
No.
Oh.
It's just my birthday.
Oh, your birthday is going to be your book.
I booked you for my birthday.
Okay. Cool.
Do you have a book coming out?
Would you look at that? The show just ended.
I was going to ask you that earlier.